As political reporters go, Norah O'Donnell was one of the best. These days, though, she talks about everything alongside Charlie Rose and Gayle King on CBS This Morning.
In addition to being an anchor, reporter, and analyst, she's an Emmy Award winner, a cookbook author, a wife, and a mom.
Yeah, we're thrilled to welcome Norah to the Morning Blend. Good to see you, Norah.
It's
Nice to meet
great
you.
to
Welcome
be
to Omaha.
here. It's beautiful here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you
We're
came on a
delighted
good
to be
day.
here.
It's going to be warm here today.
I know. I hear 80 degrees.
We got to talk about this. A couple years, the CBS Morning Show, since they revamped it, you and Charlie and Gayle, you guys are doing fantastic, by the way. But I got to ask you, I'm concerned about something. Gayle is spending a lot of time working now. Her relationship with Oprah, is that strained? Has that been strained at all? Is she?
No, they're still the dearest of friends, and in fact, I think Oprah will be coming on CBS This Morning later this month, so we're excited about that. And I tell you, one of the true delights of CBS This Morning is getting to work with Gayle and Charlie. They were instantly my best friends. We get along so well, and usually we're, even way after the show is over, we're still sitting on set talking. They're like, oh, will you guys go home now?
Yeah, I love how you take the opportunity to make Charlie blush on occasion, you know, just like
I don't think it's hard
him.
to do, is it?
No, you know, he is the most generous and charming man. I can't tell you how many women come up to me and say, oh, I love that Charlie Rose. And it's he's like that in person. It's not just on TV. And I think, though, Charlie is known as a serious newsman. And, of course, he just won the Peabody
I saw that.
for the biggest interview of the year, which was with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. So I think what's nice about our show is that we get to see a different side to Charlie, and hopefully Gayle and I bring out a different side to Charlie when we talk about different things, and we love Charlie.
Was he emotionally taken aback by the Peabody? It seemed like on set when
very surprised.
He did seem surprised.
We were all surprised. We didn't know. I didn't know either. And so Charlie was very touched, and I think you could see a little bit of a tear in his eye. He was truly touched, and like, who submitted this? I didn't submit this for the award, and of course CBS submitted it on his behalf. So
that's good.
Charlie has Nancy O'Dell, and I think about
What do you mean? How do you know this?
And then Gayle has, I think, Mark Phillips. The two of them seem to have chemistry. So there are their matches. For you, when somebody comes by, who do you look forward to seeing?
Well, I look forward to seeing like Adam Scott, I mean, golfers, any of the athletes.
Right.
Yeah, very hello.
Right.
I mean, those guns on that guy. I mean, sure, he has a great swing, but it looks good in
and
person,
the accent doesn't hurt.
Yes,
Right.
Exactly. So there's a number of people. I can't reveal. I am a married woman, of course, with 3 young children.
And a restaurateur.
Yes, I have twins who are about to turn 7, and then a 5-year-old who's also about to have turn 6. And as my husband, once we went to Georgetown University, as my husband just told a bunch of seniors there, he said, yes, I had 3 children, all in 13 months, all with the same woman.
Right.
That's me. That's great. Good to know he has a sense of humor. What does balance look like for your family? He's a restaurateur. You're very busy with work. So how do you balance it out? A lot of moms might want to know.
I know everybody's really busy and trying to make it work. My own personal view is I don't like the phrase balance work and family because it sets up these scales of justice to me, which is right where there's actually balance, where there's work on one side and family on the other, and they're in balance. And hello, people, they're not in balance. We all know that. That's what we're all struggling with. So I think what happens is, and I'm Irish and I grew up Catholic, so I just end up feeling guilty about the fact that they're not in balance. And I do think it actually hurts women to some degree because I think we learned today in the news that a lot more women are staying home. And I think because the messages of, well, if you don't get the balance right, then you're not being a good mom. So I think a lot of women say, maybe I should just stay home. So I think we've got to work on that phrase a little bit about balancing work and family because I'd like to meet you out there if you have achieved balance. We are trying to find you and we want to copy you.
But it is challenging because we have 3 young kids at home and it's tough to, balance, I guess you could use that word, but it's tough to manage everything. We try to stay focused on work and make sure your kids.
It is. Well, I was on the way over here and talking to my husband, can we move this parent-teacher conference to this day? And he's going to the school, but we all make it work in our unique ways. Everybody is busy, there's no doubt about it. And it just takes, I think for women in particular who do end up carrying a lot of the burdens at home with children and schedules, that you have to, I like to say, you have to prepare yourself to succeed, and keep people around you a support system that you can lean on at certain periods of time. So whether it's someone in your family, a mom, a grandma, or a grandpa who can help with the kids, whether it's a babysitter or your neighbor who picks up the kids from schools, I think we have to reestablish that kind of community so that we can lean on different people at different times. Prepare your support group so that you can succeed.
I was interested in knowing, despite all of your travels and covering politics, you'd never been to Nebraska. This is your first trip here.
Yes, it's wonderful, wonderful to be here to Omaha. I've been all over the world, in fact, every continent except Antarctica, with either the President of the United States or the Secretary of Defense. I've covered 5 presidential campaigns, so I have had the distinct privilege of really being everywhere, just about everywhere, at least every battleground state.
Right. Yeah, not exactly Nebraska.
Nebraska is usually fairly decided.
But plenty of time in Iowa, And you know, one of the great privileges about leaving Washington or leaving New York to cover is you realize this is such a great country, you know, and there are people in farms and all kinds of businesses and manufacturing that make this country great, and you really get to see that when you travel the country.
You're here in Omaha, first time in Omaha, but you're here for the ICAN Women's Conference. What's your message? What are you going to talk about?
One of the things I'm going to talk about is why I believe the 21st century is going to be the century for women. Of course, we had the industrial age, the American century, and now I think the 21st century is the century for women. I love that phrase. I have to give credit because it was actually a phrase that Tom Brokaw coined. But I do firmly believe that women are at a tipping point. You have 40% of American families, women are the breadwinners in that family. Another 23% women are partial breadwinners. Women crashed through the educational glass ceiling 30 years ago. We've been going to college at the same rate as men, but we still have so few women at the head of the Fortune 500 companies, just 4% of CEOs. Why do I think that's going to change? I think it's going to change because of economics, because women are now in control of 70% of consumer spending. We make the decisions. Yeah. Are you married? Does your wife buy a lot of your clothes?
She buys it all.
Yeah, buys the groceries, decides which house. I mean,
but she doesn't cook. I'm the chef. I'm the cook.
He's trying to impress you, Nora.
No, I do all the cooking. You know that.
That's good. That's good.
One quick question. Are your eyes really this blue, or do you wear colored contacts? Because we've heard this a lot in preparation for your visit.
They are really this blue. I have to get you a picture of my kids. My husband has blue eyes, too, so all the kids have blue eyes. So
good to know. Thanks, Nora.
Hey, it's great to be here.
A real pleasure.
Thank
Have a
you
great
so
time
much.
in Omaha.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, in the Morning Blend, start their day with coffee from Pears Gourmet, the official coffee of the Morning Blend. And to learn more about Pears, go to OmahaMorningBlend.com and click on the Pears logo that's right there on the homepage.
After the break, how to restore sparkle and shine to your jewelry at home. John is back to bling it on.
And at 9:30, the 3 puppeteers from Warhorse, how they work together to bring Joey to life.